PRPC provides 6 declarative rule types. Constraints. Define and enforce comparison relationships among property values. Constraints can provide a declarative form of property validation every time the property's value is touched, rather than the explicit validation provided by the property definition or validation rules. The system evaluates constraints automatically each time a property identified in a constraint is changed. Declare expressions. Define automatic computations of property values based on expressions. This expression may consist of property references, decision rule results, or other declare expressions. We'll discuss declare expressions in more detail later in this lesson. Declare on change performs an action, specifically an activity, automatically when the value of a property that we specify to be monitored changes. For example, we can use a declare on change rule to increment a counter each time a work item is updated. Declare on change can also force all processing on a case to be suspended. This may be needed when a case suddenly violates some business policy or federal guidelines. Declare trigger causes an action, or specifically, an activity to run when instances of a specific class are created, updated, or deleted in the database. For example, we can use a declare trigger to send an email whenever a customer case is updated, perhaps with a changed address or preference. Declare index defines the criteria that PRPC uses to automatically maintain the index instances for faster access. An index can improve search and reporting access for properties that cannot be exposed as database columns. This occurs when properties are embedded within an aggregate property. In other words, when the properties are contained within a page list or page group property. Indexes are created automatically by the property optimization tool. PRPC saves indexes as instances of concrete classes derived from the index base class. Data page. Used to cache data on demand to a clipboard page that can be used by one or more applications. A data page defines its source data, scope, refresh strategy, editability, and structure. This declarative rule should be the primary means of sourcing data, and it will be discussed in more detail in the Accessing Data in User Interface lesson. While there are some specific nuances with different declarative rules, in general, they are triggered when one or more property values change, or as is the case with data pages, are simply referenced. Below are some events that may trigger the declarative rules. When a user submits a flow action, the evaluation occurs at the conclusion of input processing, as each step in a data transform or activity runs. During flow execution, the evaluation occurs as control advances from one task, or one shape on the flow diagram, to another.